I really dislike studying new vocab. It's oftentimes hard, boring, and just a really, really long process, especially with words that I will never use or won't likely hear and decide, oh, I want to learn that. Because the way I studied English, I just heard a bunch of words and I read a bunch of words and I spoke a bunch of words until like I knew it. Like that's how you learn your first language. So today I'm going to be telling you about one of the methods I use to overcome the boredom of studying vocabulary. And I call this the dictionary rabbit hole method, but there might be a better term for this out there in the polyglot community. I don't really know because I'm not exactly a part of the polyglot community. So this method is best suited for lower intermediate all the way up to advanced because it requires at least a basic knowledge of sentence structure and grammar to understand what is being said and to make it like more efficient. You could try this as a newbie, but it would take a lot longer, and that's kind of the thing I was avoiding here. So I've used this in English only because Wizards of Waverly Place, and that's actually partly where I got the idea to begin with. And I've used this in Korean, of course, because I have to take the TOPIK, and the TOPIK's got a few thousand technical words that I'm probably not going to use. So without further ado, I'm going to tell you that I am using TOPIK in 30 days. You can use any list to start with, any TOPIK list. There are plenty of free ones online, and I will probably link them down below. Although, if you're not studying Korean, that's probably not helpful. So I'm using TOPIK in 30 days. And basically what I did was I took one of the words I didn't know very well, and then I looked it up in a Korean dictionary, and I got the definition in Korean. So for that, I used Daum Sajeon, and then I wrote down the definition in Korean, and I picked a word from that I didn't know. So, for example, the first one I did was 생각되다, which was regarded as, and I had the English version of that in Korean or TOPIK in 30 days. I looked up the thing and I got the word 향상시킨, which means improvement, I think. Yeah, improvement. Wow, great confidence in this method. 향상시키다, and that's it written in red because I didn't know it. So I continued down that. I looked up the definition of that, and there were no words that I didn't know. So you could end the rabbit hole there, or you can continue in some other way. So I knew shikida means like to order or to cause, basically like to order something, and then hyangsang I didn't know. So I looked up hyangsang and continued from there, and from there I got sujin, and from there I got three other words like 같이, 일정하다, and what was the third one? 표준. Yeah. So I decided to continue with 같이 because 일정하다 was kind of abstract, and like I got the definition. I always look up the definition, whether I'm going to continue with that one or not. I always look up the definition. So 일정하다 was a bit abstract, and I didn't want to go too abstract because it would get confusing. 표준 was too similar to 수준 for me to continue with that, so I continued with 같이. And 같이 had three meanings, so I wrote them all down, and that's where I decided to end that rabbit hole and continue with the list that I had. The nice thing about this is you get a lot of related words, and you study them in a nice context, and then you can also get abstract words like 일정하다, and it's easier to remember their meaning in the context of the practice phrase. Yes, so that makes sense. So I ended it there, and one of the things I noticed later on was I still remembered all of the words I studied from that set. I still remembered all of the words, and I learned a few useful words, and I got to use them in context. So that's a plus. I have been continuing to use TOPIK in 30 days and using the rabbit hole method at the same time, but it's hit or miss whether I will use it for specific words. I don't use it for every single word, but if you did do that, you would probably improve really quickly. The nice thing about this method, I will say, is that you're not relying on a word in your native language. you are associating it with a Korean sentence, the definition of the word, rather than associating it with a direct translation. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you have a good day. I hope studying vocabulary goes well. Bye!